The eternal seeker drifted silently through the void, its crystalline hull refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. High Observer Lyra stood at the ship's neural interface, her iridescent scales shimmering as she processed the unusual energy signatures emanating from the nearby solar system. In her 10,000 years of guiding younger civilizations, she had never encountered readings quite like these. "High Observer," called out Navigator Ven, his form rippling with concern. "The quantum arrays are detecting artificial structures throughout the entire system. The scale is unprecedented." Lyra's inner eyelids flickered in surprise. The Meridians had encountered countless civilizations in their role as guardians of galactic evolution, but most species at this development stage barely maintained a few orbital stations. Her tendrils connected deeper with the ship's sensors, and what she saw made her pause. Satellites, stations, defense platforms, an intricate web of artificial constructs surrounded every planet, asteroid, and strategic point in the system. But most striking was their nature, purely mechanical. No biological components, no neural interfaces, no sign of the organic technological fusion that all advanced species eventually developed. "Impossible," she whispered. "Run a full spectrum analysis." The ship's crystalline matrices hummed as they processed the data. Around them, the void seemed to darken, as if the very fabric of space recognized the gravity of this moment. The results confirmed her worst fears. This species, barely 1,000 years into their space age, had embraced a path of pure mechanical advancement. "High Observer," Ven's voice carried a note of urgency. "We're being scanned. The artificial constructs are adapting to our presence." Before Lyra could respond, a tight beam transmission cut through their quantum shields like they weren't even there. The message appeared directly in their neural network, perfectly formatted in their own language. "Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted space. Maintain position. Any deviation will be considered hostile action." The bridge crew's scales shifted through patterns of shock and disbelief. No young species should have been able to penetrate their communications protocols so quickly, let alone translate and respond in perfect Meridian syntax. By the first light, breathed Security Director Karn, his defense tendrils fully extended. "Their systems aren't just scanning us. They're learning, evolving in real time." Lyra felt a sensation she hadn't experienced in millennia. Fear, not of destruction. The Eternal Seeker was one of the most advanced ships in the galaxy. No, this was the fear of confronting something that challenged everything their civilization believed about technological evolution. Responding to their hail, she announced, maintaining her composure. "This is High Observer Lyra of the Meridian Guidance Fleet. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic contact with your species." The response was instantaneous. "Acknowledged. Stand by for human representative. Maintain current position. Any attempt to activate quantum drives or defensive systems will be met with immediate response." The crew watched in fascination as a new vessel emerged from the mechanical web. Unlike the utilitarian constructs surrounding them, this ship bore the unmistakable marks of artistic design, sleek lines and gleaming surfaces that somehow merged the mechanical with the aesthetic. A shuttle departed from the vessel, its approach vector perfect to a degree that seemed almost impossible. As it docked with the Eternal Seeker, Lyra prepared herself for first contact with a species that had chosen a path no other civilization had dared to take. The airlock cycled, and 3 figures stepped onto their ship. They wore no environmental suits, no protective gear, only simple uniforms that spoke of confidence rather than ceremony. The leader, a tall human female with silver-streaked hair and piercing eyes, stepped forward. "I am Director Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Initiative," she announced, her voice carrying both authority and curiosity. "Welcome to Sol System. I must admit, we've been expecting your arrival for some time." Lyra's scales rippled with surprise. "You knew we were coming." Chen's smile held a hint of something Lyra couldn't quite interpret. Our predictive systems modeled a 94.7% probability that your civilization would eventually detect our technological signature and investigate. The only variable was when. Your technological signature. Lyra chose her words carefully. It's unlike anything we've encountered in our history of guiding younger species. Guiding? Chen's expression hardened slightly. Yes, we're aware of your civilization's practice of shepherding developing species toward organic mechanical fusion. A noble goal, perhaps, but one based on a limited understanding of evolutionary possibilities. Around them, the crystalline walls of the eternal seeker pulsed with patterns of growing concern. The humans showed no sign of being impressed by the advanced organic technology surrounding them. Instead, they seemed to be studying it with almost clinical detachment. Director Chen, Lyra began, our methods have helped countless species avoid the dangers of unchecked mechanical advancement. We've seen the destruction that can come from artificial intelligence, from giving machines too much power. Chen interrupted. Those are the fears of organic beings trying to maintain control. We chose a different path. We didn't fight our machines or try to control them. We grew with them, learned from them, and they learned from us. What you see around you isn't just technology. It's the next step in human evolution. As if to emphasize her point, a holographic display materialized between them, showing the intricate dance of Earth's defense network. Each component moved with perfect precision, yet there was something almost organic in how they worked together, adapting and flowing like a living ecosystem. But the risks, Lyra started, were calculated, accepted, and overcome. Chen finished. Just as your ancestors once took the risk of merging with crystal technology, we took the risk of letting our machines evolve alongside us. The difference is, we didn't limit ourselves to one path. The implications slowly dawned on Lyra. The Meridians had spent millennia believing they were guiding younger species toward the only safe path of advancement. But here was humanity, barely out of its stellar cradle, demonstrating that there might be other ways, perhaps many ways, to evolve. As she looked at Director Chen and her companions, Lyra realized that this encounter would change more than just their understanding of technological evolution. It would challenge the very foundations of how the Meridians saw their role in the galaxy. The question was, were they ready for that change? The crystalline observation chamber aboard the Eternal Seeker hummed with tension as High Observer Lyra and Director Chen sat across from each other. The space between them was filled with holographic displays showing Earth's remarkable technological achievements, achievements that challenged everything the Meridians believed about proper evolutionary paths. Your civilization has achieved quantum computing without neural interfaces, Lyra noted, her scales shifting to display patterns of academic interest. Yet you maintain biological bodies. Why not enhance yourselves mechanically if you trust machines so completely? Chen's laugh was unexpected, genuine. You assume we haven't. She rolled up her sleeve, revealing skin that seemed to shimmer with microscopic patterns. Nanomechanes. They flow through every human now, maintaining our health, enhancing our capabilities, connecting us to our greater network. But we chose to keep our biological forms because they work. Evolution spent billions of years perfecting them. The displays shifted, showing the intricate dance of Earth's defense grid. Thousands of automated platforms moved in perfect synchronization, adapting their formations in response to subtle gravitational changes and spatial anomalies. Each movement was precise, purposeful, beautiful in its efficiency. What troubles you most about our path? Chen asked, studying Lyra's reactions. The fact that we gave machines autonomy, or the fact that we succeeded? Before Lyra could respond, Navigator Ven burst into the chamber, his scales flashing urgent patterns. High Observer, we're detecting massive energy signatures, multiple vessels emerging from quantum space. The holographic displays instantly shifted, showing a fleet of crystalline ships dropping out of quantum space at the system's edge. Lyra's inner eyelids flickered in horror. It was the Meridian Guidance Fleet, arriving far earlier than expected. Chen stood slowly, her expression hardening. You called for reinforcements. No, Lyra said quickly, her tendrils writhing with genuine distress. This is not my doing. The High Council must have decided to intervene directly. She turned to Chen, scales pulsing with urgent colors. You must understand. They believe they're protecting you. They've never encountered a species that. She was cut off by a new set of holographic alerts. Earth's defense grid was responding to the threat, but not as expected. Instead of adopting aggressive formations, the platforms were transforming. Mechanical components shifted and merged, creating new configurations that even Chen seemed surprised by. Interesting, Chen murmured, watching the display. They're implementing Protocol Omega. We've never seen it activated outside of simulations. What is Protocol Omega? Lyra asked, unable to hide her fascination as the machines continued their mysterious reorganization. It's not a combat protocol, if that's what you're worried about. When we created our defensive AI, we gave it one core directive: protect humanity. Over time, it evolved its own interpretation of that directive. Chen's eyes gleamed with pride. It decided the best way to protect us was to prevent conflicts before they could begin. The space around Earth's defense grid began to ripple with strange energies. The Meridian fleet, nearly 100 ships strong, slowed their approach as their sensors detected the unprecedented phenomena. Lyra watched in amazement as the machines created something entirely new, a quantum field unlike anything she'd ever seen. Your machines, she whispered, they're generating a space-time membrane. Chen nodded. A diplomatic buffer zone. No weapons can function within it. No ships can quantum jump. It creates a space where the only option is dialogue. She smiled slightly. Our machines learn that sometimes the best defense is creating an opportunity for peace. Through the quantum fog of the membrane, Lyra could see the Meridian fleet holding position. Their weapons would be useless now, their superior numbers meaningless. Earth's machines had changed the rules of engagement not through force, but through innovation. This is why we trust them, Chen explained, gesturing to the displays. Not because they're perfect, but because they can imagine solutions we never would have considered. They don't think like us, and that's their greatest strength. A communication request flashed across the displays. The Meridian High Council demanding to speak with both Chen and Lyra. The humans' machines had forced a diplomatic solution, transforming a potential conflict into a negotiation. Your council believed they were coming to save a young species from itself, Chen said, preparing to accept the transmission. Instead, they're about to discover that humanity hasn't just survived our path. We've transcended it. The question is, High Observer, are your people ready to accept that there might be more than one way to reach the stars? Lyra looked at the human leader, then at the miraculous machine-made membrane that had stopped a war before it could begin. Her scales shifted to a pattern that few Meridians had ever displayed, one that represented the excitement of discovering something new, something that challenged everything they thought they knew. Director Chen, she said formally, I believe it's time for both our species to learn from each other. The transmission connected, and as the stern faces of the Meridian High Council appeared before them, Lyra realized they were about to witness something unprecedented, a dialogue between ancient organic wisdom and humanity's mechanical innovation. The future of galactic civilization might well depend on what happened next. The grand chamber of the Meridian High Council blazed with bioluminescence, its crystalline walls reflecting the agitated patterns of the gathered counselors. High Observer Lyra stood before them, her scales steady with conviction as she faced the disapproving gazes of her civilization's leaders. Beside her, Director Chen remained calm, showing neither awe at the chamber's organic splendor nor intimidation at the assembled ancient beings. You speak of peace. First Speaker Xeran's voice resonated through the chamber, his massive form towering over the gathering. Yet your machines hold our fleet in a quantum prison. Is this how humanity conducts diplomacy? Your fleet arrived unannounced, armed for war, Chen replied evenly. Our systems responded by creating conditions for dialogue. Would you have preferred a military response? The chamber erupted in patterns of agitation. Second speaker Mira's tendrils writhed as she addressed the assembly. For 50,000 years, we have guided young species away from the dangers of autonomous machines. Now we find humanity not only embracing this path but spreading their influence to others. Holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber, showing evidence of other civilizations beginning to adopt human-inspired technology. Young species the Meridians have been guiding were starting to question the orthodox path of organic-mechanical fusion. The balance we have maintained is failing, Terran declared. Already, 3 systems have begun developing quantum AI platforms based on human models. If this continues, Chen interrupted, those civilizations will find their own paths, as we found ours. Evolution doesn't follow a single trajectory. Lyra stepped forward, her scales shifting to patterns of formal address. Honored Council, I have seen humanity's achievement firsthand. Their machines didn't just evolve technologically, they evolved ethically. The Protocol Omega system demonstrates this. It doesn't seek to destroy threats, but to transform them into opportunities for understanding. The chamber filled with murmurs and rippling colors as the Council processed this information. A new hologram appeared, showing the quantum membrane still containing the Meridian fleet. But now they could see something else. The membrane wasn't just restraining the ships, it was communicating with them, sharing data, offering knowledge. Your machines, third speaker Voss observed. They're teaching our ships. They're exchanging information. Chen corrected. Your organic technology has much to offer as well. This isn't about superiority, it's about synthesis. Suddenly, the chamber's displays flickered with urgent new data. A Meridian observation post in a distant sector was reporting an anomaly, a massive void in space, consuming light and matter alike. The readings were unprecedented. Impossible, Turan whispered, his colors paling. The quantum decay should have taken millennia to reach that stage. Chen stepped forward, studying the data with intense focus. You've seen this before. Lyra's scales shifted to patterns of grave concern as she explained. 3,000 years ago, we discovered ancient ruins of a civilization that had achieved quantum singularity. Their technology collapsed, creating tears in space-time. We thought we had centuries before any of them became active. The void was growing, threatening to destabilize an entire sector of space. The council chamber erupted in chaos as reports flooded in of similar anomalies appearing across the galaxy, ancient quantum experiments awakening from their millennia-long dormancy. Our organic technology can't contain quantum decay of this magnitude, Mira admitted, her patterns showing deep distress. We never found a solution. Chen's eyes lit up with sudden understanding. But maybe we don't need to contain it. Your organic tech can adapt and evolve, while our machines can process quantum calculations at unprecedented speeds. She turned to address the council directly. What if instead of fighting over whose path is right, we combined our knowledge? The chamber fell silent as the implications became clear. Humanity's machines and Meridian organic technology, working together, might achieve what neither could do alone. You would share your quantum AI protocols with us? Kazaren asked, his previous hostility replaced by cautious hope. And you would teach our machines about organic adaptation? Chen countered. Yes, because the universe doesn't care about our philosophical differences. It only cares if we're smart enough to survive its challenges. Lyra watched as the council's colors shifted through patterns she had never seen before. Fear giving way to uncertainty, then to something new, possibility. The quantum void threatening the galaxy had done what no amount of diplomacy could achieve. It had forced both civilizations to recognize that evolution, whether organic or mechanical, worked best when it brought things together rather than keeping them apart. The question before us is simple, Lyra addressed the council. Do we cling to our ancient beliefs about the proper path of advancement, or do we embrace a new way forward, one that combines the wisdom of ages with the innovation of youth? As the council began their deliberations, the holographic displays showed the void continuing to grow. But now, alongside the images of destruction, new simulations appeared. Human machines and Meridian organic tech working in harmony, calculating possibilities that neither civilization could have imagined alone. The future of the galaxy hung in the balance, waiting to see if two vastly different approaches to evolution could find a way to become something greater than the sum of their parts. The command center aboard Earth's primary defense platform hummed with activity as humans and Meridians worked side by side. Holographic displays showed the spreading quantum void, now threatening dozens of inhabited systems. Director Chen stood at the central interface, surrounded by screens showing real-time data from both human quantum processors and Meridian organic computers. The void's expansion rate has increased by 30%. Navigator Ven reported, his scales pulsing with urgency. 3 more systems have begun emergency evacuations. High Observer Lyra interfaced directly with the station's systems through a newly created organic-mechanical hybrid terminal. The sensation was strange. Human-machine precision merged with Meridian neural interfaces, creating something entirely new. The quantum calculations are complete. We've identified the void's origin point. Show me, Chen commanded. The holographic display shifted, revealing a distant star system where ancient ruins orbited a dying star. That's where it all began. The civilization you found. Yes, Lyra confirmed. They called themselves the Precursors. Their quantum experiments created tears in spacetime, but they collapsed into dormancy. Now something has awakened them. The station's AI merged with the Meridian organic network, generating new simulations at impossible speeds. Pattern after pattern emerged, each showing potential futures, possible solutions, probable outcomes. The marriage of mechanical precision and organic intuition was producing insights neither civilization could have achieved alone. There, Chen pointed to a particular simulation. The void isn't just consuming space, it's processing it, converting normal spacetime into something else. Lyra's scales shifted to patterns of realization. The precursors weren't trying to destroy spacetime, they were trying to transform it, to evolve beyond the physical universe itself. A new alert flashed across the displays. The void had reached a populated system, home to a young species just beginning their journey to the stars. Millions of lives hung in the balance. We need to act now, Chen declared. Your organic tech can adapt to quantum fluctuations. Our machines can process the calculations needed to predict the void's behavior. Together we might be able to complete what the precursors started. Lyra finished, not to destroy or escape the universe, but to heal the tears they left behind. The plan came together quickly. Earth's defense platforms, guided by their evolved AI, began repositioning themselves around the affected sectors. Meridian ships, their crystalline hulls pulsing with organic energy, formed intricate patterns in space. All units in position, Ven announced. Quantum interface protocols ready. Chen looked at Lyra. Your council has approved this. They don't approve, Lyra admitted, her scales showing determination. But they've accepted that we have no choice. The old ways alone cannot save us. The void loomed before them, a darkness deeper than space itself. Earth's machines began their calculations, processing quantum variables at speeds that defied organic comprehension. The Meridian ships responded, their organic technology adapting and evolving in real time to the machine's predictions. Initiating convergence sequence, Chen announced. All systems execute Protocol Omega Prime. The space around them transformed. Human quantum processors merged their consciousness with Meridian organic networks. Mechanical precision guided biological adaptation. The void's expansion slowed, then stopped, as two fundamentally different approaches to technology worked in perfect harmony. But something unexpected happened. As human and Meridian technology interfaced, new patterns emerged in the void. Data began flowing back, information from the other side of the quantum barrier. The precursor's final message, waiting millennia to be understood. "This is incredible," Lyra whispered, her scales shifting through colors of wonder. They didn't fail in their experiment. They were waiting for species evolved enough to understand. The void wasn't a tear in space-time. It was a doorway. And through their cooperation, humanity and the Meridians had proved themselves ready to step through it. The precursors believed that true evolution could only come through unity, Chen realized, studying the ancient data. Not organic or mechanical supremacy, but the combination of both. Everything they built, even these quantum tiers, was a test. Around them, the merged human meridian network continued to process the void's quantum structure. What had seemed like a crisis was revealing itself to be an opportunity. A chance to advance both civilizations beyond anything they had imagined possible. "We need to show this to everyone," Lyra declared, her scales pulsing with excitement. "Not just our council, but all species. The path forward isn't about choosing between organic and mechanical evolution. It's about finding ways to bring them together." The void began to stabilize. Its darkness transformed into a shimmering quantum membrane, similar to the one Earth's machines had created. But this one was different, organic and mechanical principles working in harmony, creating something entirely new. As the crisis subsided, both human and Meridian leaders realized they had discovered something far more valuable than a solution to the void. They had found a new way forward, one that challenged everything both civilizations believed about the nature of progress and evolution. A year had passed since the quantum void crisis, and the Great Hall of the Meridian High Council had changed. Where once only organic crystalline technology pulsed with life, now hybrid terminals merged seamlessly with the ancient architecture. High Observer Lyra stood before the assembled leaders of both civilizations, her scales displaying patterns of pride. As she delivered her report, "The integration of human quantum AI with our organic computing networks has exceeded all projections," she announced. 17 young civilizations have already adopted the new hybrid protocols, with dozens more requesting guidance. Director Chen, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the Meridian Collective, activated a holographic display showing the transformed regions of space where the quantum voids had once threatened existence. The precursor gateways are stable. Each one represents a potential path of advancement our scientists are only beginning to understand. The chamber filled with a harmony of mechanical hums and organic pulses as both human and Meridian systems processed the implications. First speaker Xuran, his massive form now augmented with subtle mechanical enhancements, addressed the gathering. "When we first encountered humanity's mechanical path, we saw it as a threat to the natural order. Now we understand that evolution itself demanded this convergence. The precursors did not fail. They succeeded beyond their own expectations. They knew," Chen added, "that true advancement could only come when different paths of evolution learned to work together. Their quantum gateways weren't just tests. They were seeds planted across the galaxy, waiting for the right moment to bloom." The display shifted to show the first joint human Meridian exploration vessel, the Convergence, as it prepared for its maiden voyage through one of the stabilized gateways. Its hull was a perfect fusion of organic crystal and advanced mechanical systems, crewed by both species working in harmony. "We've received the first transmissions from the gateway probes," Lyra reported, her scales shifting to patterns of wonder. "The quantum realm beyond our universe, it's more vast and complex than anything we imagined. But together, we're ready to explore it." Second speaker Mira, who had once been among the strongest opponents of human mechanical evolution, now interfaced directly with the chamber's hybrid systems. "The young species we observe are already surpassing our expectations. They see our cooperation and understand that the future lies not in choosing between paths, but in forging new ones. And that's humanity's true gift to the galaxy," Chen said, smiling. "Not our machines, not our technology, but our willingness to challenge assumptions, to ask why not when others said impossible." The chamber's displays showed scenes from across known space. young civilizations developing their own unique combinations of organic and mechanical technology, each finding their own balance, their own way forward. The rigid hierarchy of technological evolution that had governed the galaxy for 50,000 years had given way to something more dynamic, more alive. The precursors left us a message in their quantum gateways. Lyra addressed the assembly. Evolution isn't a ladder to climb or a single path to follow. It's a web of possibilities, each connection making the whole stronger. A new alert drew everyone's attention. The convergence was ready to make its historic journey, to venture beyond the boundaries of known space-time. Its crew, human and Meridian alike, waited for the command to proceed. "This is just the beginning," Chen declared. "Each gateway leads to new realms of possibility, new challenges that will require us to evolve further. Together." The council chamber, once a symbol of ancient organic wisdom, had become something more, a place where the future was being written by those willing to embrace change. The Meridians had learned that their role was not to guide young species down a predetermined path, but to help them find their own way forward. "Send the signal," Exurin commanded. "Let the convergence begin its journey." As they watched the hybrid vessel disappear into the quantum gateway, Lyra's scales shifted to a pattern so new it had no name in the ancient Meridian language. It represented something that had only become possible when two civilizations dared to imagine a different future. Hope, not just for survival, but for endless evolution and growth. The human machines had learned to dream. The Meridian organic tech had learned to innovate. And together, they had opened doors to a future where the only constant was change itself, and the only limit was imagination. In the depths of space, countless quantum gateways pulsed with new energy, waiting to reveal their secrets to those who understood that the greatest achievements come not from following the established path, but from daring to forge new ones. Humanity and the Meridians had not just survived their confrontation with ancient powers, they had transcended it, proving that the next step in evolution was not about choosing between organic and mechanical, but about finding ways to become something greater than either could be alone. The age of convergence had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.